Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm your host, Kara. Today, we're going to look at Candle Magic 101. I have so much to go through, I thought it'd just be easier to just go face to face today. So today we're going to cover types of candles, anything from sizes to shapes to burn times to types of wax that you could use, the meanings of the colors, to days of the week, to hours of the day that you could burn your candles on. We will also learn charging, anointing, blessing, lighting and extinguishing your candles, scribing your candles, and getting it ready for rituals. Join me today on Pagan Crafting as we explore Candle Magic 101. Every candle contains all four elements. Air, oxygen feeds and fans the flame. Earth, a solid wax forms the body of the candle. Water, melting the wax, represents the fluid of the elemental state. Fire, the flame itself as it sparks and blazes. Now let us go over the types of candles. Let's start off with the easiest thing. What types of candles can we start off? Through ancient times, through thousands of years, there has been candle magic. Different shapes and sizes could represent different things in our day and time. Sometimes the length of the spell versus how much time you want to put in. You may want to go with a larger candle, or you may just go with a small little candle as well. Now starting off with birthday candles. Quick little candles, you can have it in your mini little travel altar. These little ones will burn anywhere between 1 to 3 minutes. Another candle that you could use is a tea light candle, and you have 3 to 4 hours. If you're a thrifty witch like I am, possibly a little frugal, there's also emergency candles, all-purpose candles, but they're emergency candles. There's 5 of them for $1.25. These ones are a larger version of, let me have a look here between my other candles. There we go. So they're like a larger version of the chime candles, where these ones could be 2-3 hours, 3-4 hours. This is anywhere between, depending on where you get, a 3 to 5 hours. Usually it's a good 4 to 5 hour burn time. A little bit nicer for longer spells. These would be for shorter spells indeed. Now the chime candle, again, you got a couple hours with those ones. And there's also, you could use the votive candles. You would have anywhere between a 3 to 4, 5 to 6 hours maybe. Now there are also 7-day candles. Now the 7-day candles, this one's been used here, but you could also mark on the candle. So if you know how long to burn for each, if you want to blow it out each day, or if you want to burn for the whole, as long as it goes, as long as it burns, so you can burn it. I'm going to get into fire safety in just a moment, because we all have our opinions. We all want to let a candle burn as long as it wants to. You know what? We'll get into that. It's all in your own discretion. I've had bad experiences personally. I've had these burst on me. I've had things catch on fire. I've come home to noticing there was a fire at one point and it went out. Ha! Never again. So, own discretion, we'll get into that. 7-day candles. Oh yeah, so you can mark lines on there for your 7 days, or you can burn it straight up, however you wish. You can throw it in a tub as well. A tub is really, really good. And that way, if it does explode, then you won't have to worry about glass and candle and fire stuff. Alrighty, on to other things. Dual candles. The black and white candles for on crossing. Those ones are pretty kick-ass to use. Those are good for banishing and getting rid of negativity. They're also good for attracting some cool stuff while kind of keeping the negativity at bay. Skull candles, also good like figure candles. Oh, I gotta get into figure candles first maybe. All right, figure candles. Burn time depends on the love spell when it comes to figure candles. And it depends on what you're doing with them. Are they facing each other? Are they moving closer and closer and closer to attracting? Or do you want a divorce and they're going the other way and apart? Are you bringing them close together? Are you healing a relationship? Are you help healing trauma? Do you help healing love? Or do you have a cord binding that could also catch on fire and help speed up the wax burning? So it depends on what you're doing. It depends on the burn time. Now, same as the skull candles. Some of them can be quite pricey. The figure candles, the skull candles could be anywhere between $15, $17, $20 American. I've found some for usually around $20, and I get them only when I need to because they are a little pricey. So I order them as needed to. I've been looking for a mold to make my own waxes for a proper humanoid, male and female-ish, divine masculine, divine feminine correction. And I think it'd be cool if I had some of those, and then I can make a ton and have a lot of fun because I make my own candles. I have so many molds, it's ridiculous. I love making candles. So our first one we have is paraffin wax. Colorful scented candles of all type, very, very inexpensive. You probably noticed maybe your grandmother used that wax to make her candles, dip candles, or as well as for canning. We used to use the wax in our canning back in the day. I don't really see too many people use that as much anymore. Comment down below if you still use some wax in your canning. I would like to know that. That'd be super cool. Now, paraffin wax is highly versatile. It's great for container candles, tapers, pillars of all sorts here too. But it also is a byproduct of petroleum. So it releases soot when it burns, and which has some questions regarding the effects on the environment. Paraffin, however, is continuing to be sold and is quite used, and again, it's quite easy for the purpose of any candle making. Now we have soy. Soy is great for container candles. It's good for pouring. I love it. It is one of my absolute favorite. I just started using it last fall and I can't get enough of it. I grew up in paraffin wax. That's all I really knew about, and beeswax. Beeswax, we used to roll them, we used to dip them. But soy wax is absolutely amazing. It is so easy to clean up. And it cleans up your jars, like I was saying earlier, and boom, you have another one ready to go, soap and water ready to go. Highly versatile. It is a little bit more expensive, but it has a slower, very, very slow burn time. I was floored on actually how much more money I would save compared to paraffin wax or other, maybe a coconut wax based or something. Now there's gel wax. Gel wax is made out of like resin and a mineral oil, and it creates a see-through effect. So it's kind of cool. I just wanted to mention it even though it's not wax-based, but I thought it'd be neat if you did want to make it, you could gather items from the forest. I'm a nature witch. So I gather items from the forest and you can put it in the wax, all your little adventures from maybe, I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're like vacation bottles, but you can make vacation candles of all the little ticket stamp or maybe things that you found, or little stone or crystals of things that you found along the way, and mix them in with the gel and pour them. Oh, it'd be so cool. I think that'll look really, really pretty. Now there's palm based. I'm looking at my notes here. Palm based is more good for freestanding pillars, pillar candles, more scented candles. They're quite inexpensive and they have a really long burn time too. They're quite compared to, I guess, more the paraffin wax for burning and making, Very, very durable, and it's great for freestanding, and you don't need a container for them, which is cool. Versus the soy is a lot softer and it's more of a pour wax. Now, coconut is a great container. Great for scented candles. It holds the scent of the oils that you put in like no one's business. It's beautiful. Very eco-friendly as well, and sustainable choice for candle making. It releases very little soot when it burns. It's now also a safer choice for your home, and it has a very slow and very even burn as well. You may think it actually would smell like the coconut, but you don't smell it. This is actually a colorless and an odorless wax, and it carries the scent, whatever you put in it, again, extremely well. Often combined with soy wax, is best suited for making container candles. Now, beeswax, save the best for last. Using in pillar and taper candles, mold candles, you name it, beeswax is incredible for it. It holds its form. It is soft, it is pliable. You can make them with sheets. You can roll them up in a wick. It's one of the most popular candle making waxes, and it has been for centuries. It has a sustainable honey scent and a signature golden color that is instantly recognizable. If you are looking for a natural wax to use, beeswax is an excellent option for you. Beeswax also have the longest burn time. I thought soy wax did, so actually beeswax did. They produce a warm toned flame that doesn't give off any smoke. It's good for both your home, your environment, your health, your lungs, and you can use the wax for numerous types of candles, especially well suited for pillar and taper candles because it doesn't drip very much at all. Okay, we got the bigger the candle, the more in depth this spell is. So if you need a quick little minute spell, versus you're looking at a week's worth and coming at you, then there's something there. I thought that was weird. I swear I saw a shamrock when I held that up. That is awesome. That is for good luck, because this is actually my money spell candle. I swear I saw a shamrock in the camera. Woo! So minute versus more in-depth spell. I really like using these all-purpose emergency candles. I will use them more than a votive. I will use them more than even these ones, even the tapered candles. How long were these ones for? 6 to 10 hours, some of them 12 hours. I don't know, I was just doing that. I was looking at the tones. So, but these ones, again, 4 or 5 hours are perfect. You can set your intention, you can work it, go about your business. It's awesome. If you're working with one of these outside, it actually really does hold itself in the wind quite a bit. Then you're done in about 45 minutes to an hour. So if you want a little faster burn time, but a little more space to set your intention, carve your intentions, your sigils, your wording, anything like that, your dates, numbers. This would be a better candle, bigger candle to rock that on. But it'll burn faster when there's some extra wind. So a little hint and tip. If you feel like being a little patient witch like myself, because I'm an Aries, my patience is smaller, but my intentions are big. So I tend to use these ones outside. Alrighty, so the smaller the candle, the quicker the spells. We caught that. Now buying secondhand candles. I'm all for it. Candles can be costly. Brand new pillar candles can be 10, 20 bucks. It's ridiculous. You find these they haven't even been used. You can find them at thrift stores. What if they have been used? What if they've been handled? How many people have handled them before they have made it out onto the shelf? Always cleanse, always smudge. You're good to go then. Now a way that, now let's say you bought a new one, but not at a metaphysical store. This is one of the questions that were sent to me. You can clean your candle with your intentions and smudge them just the same as if you bought a second-hand one or one at a metaphysical store. To be honest, not all metaphysical stores cleanse and Reiki and prepare. They just they order them, they put them out on the shelf. It's up to you to do what you need to do for them. Some of them come prepared, like the glass one. Some of them come blessed and Reiki'd and charged by the moon rays, and they say it and they mean it and they have it. So that is different, but not all of them at metaphysical stores are going to be ready to rock. I have bought my black ones at a metaphysical store, and I've gotten these ones on Amazon, and I can guarantee neither one of those little guys were blessed for me, because they're just little quick little dudes. They're like 70 cents to $1.50 a piece Canadian. They're just quick little guys, and that's up to me to bless them and anoint them and do what I need to do with them. Now, always cleanse any candles. Thrift finds, new find, metaphysical store finds, you name it. Even if you order them from a witch or get them from a witch, it's been handled by someone else. Set your intentions in, hold the blessings and intentions that came with your magical candle. Don't cancel it out, but just start a little newness coming in here. Now let's go over the names of the candles and possibly the placements on the altar. These are like 4 types of candles that we can work with. Now the first two are the first 2 altar candles going in each of the corner of the altar in front of you. You're going to be lighting those candles in order first, of the left to the right. Order them. You're going to light those ones first. Always light them before any of the other candles. Offertory candles. These vary on the shapes, size, and color. Depends on the work that needs to be done. Astral candles. These represent the petitioners, or are chosen depending on the person's birth date. So that goes by the color of their zodiac. There's a first and secondary color. I'm Aries, so my first one is white. Secondary color is pink, and so on. So that not everybody's color is white. It just happens to be mine. So there's different colors that represent each, and you would choose that accordingly. Day colors. They would be chosen accordingly to their color, the day of the week, and they would be placed on the front of the altar. And that would be depending on the performance that you need to be done, is the color that you would choose for these colors. Okay, I got all my candles in my lap here. We're gonna go through all the colors here and have some fun. So, pink. Any colors, any shades of pink that you would like to use. Friendship, affection, joy, self-esteem, romance, devotion, emotional healing. It's great for self-love, romance, and also reconciliation. Now we have red candles. Just having some fun with some red candles. Now they're for courage, willpower, action, Mars energy, sex, determination, strength, passion, vitality, courage, love, power, attraction, willpower. Okay, we have orange. Orange is for quick action, playfulness, confidence, warmth, energy, drive, confidence, ambition. Again, works with activity and great for solar magic. Great for sun magic. Good one to use there. Same as getting into our yellows. Our yellows are for charm, persuasion, overcoming mental blocks, new ideas, and bringing in confidence. Great for intellect. Ooh. And the oranges are great for attraction. So you want to attract money, you want to attract a job, light one of these bad boys, I'm telling you. Communication, concentration, enthusiasm, and learning comes with yellow. Now let us go over green. I should have a green one. One more green. I've been lighting a lot of green ones. Whew, I wanted spring to come home, and I need a new job, so I'm working the green. Success and abundance, money, and good luck. You can also substitute for gold if you're looking for money and career as well. Now green is for healing, growth, fertility, prosperity, success, abundance, luck, and ideas. All right, we have our blue here. Now we have, no matter what the shades of blue are, blue is for truth, wisdom, justice, healing, calm, loyalty, meditation, peace, forgiveness, and inspiration when you're dealing with the color blue. Now purple gives us our psychic manifestations, astral travel, again, meditation, spirituality, some third eye love right there. Intuition, stability, focus, wisdom, power, and creativity. Ooh, we have black. I have a few sizes here. Our black candles. They're great for absorbing any negative energy, protection, banishing, cutting cords, removing any unwanted McNastiness, creating boundaries, breaking hexes, grounding, and psychic protection. And we have brown for grounding, finding lost objects, concentration as well. For permanent resources, nature, home, and really good for pets too if you have the color brown. And white, our last one, for purity, wholeness, protection, cleansing, truth, new beginnings, sincerity, insight, of course, stability, peacefulness, as well. It is your go-to candle if you don't have any colored candles. You may always, always, always use white. Let's go over the astral colors now. There's primary and secondary astral colors based on your birth date, so your zodiac sign. If you don't know your person that you're working the spell for, their zodiac sign or their birth date, then just use a white. Obviously you know your birth date, so we can look that up here together. So I'm just going to read from my grimoire here. Now the zodiac sign for Aries, the primary color is white, secondary is pink. Taurus is red, secondary is yellow. Gemini is red, secondary blue. Cancer green, secondary brown. Leo is red, secondary green. Virgo gold, secondary black. Libra black, secondary blue. Scorpio brown, secondary black. Sagittarius gold, secondary red. Capricorn red, secondary brown. Aquarius blue, secondary green. Pisces white, secondary green. Again, if you don't know the person's birthday, just use white. Now our next one is the days of the week. Now the days of the week is Sunday, you use yellow. Monday is white. Tuesday is red. Wednesday is purple. Thursday is blue. Friday green. And Saturday is black. And if you want to get a little bit more in depth, Sunday's ruled by the sun. Monday's ruled by the moon. Tuesday's ruled by Mars. Wednesday Mercury. Thursday Jupiter. Friday Venus. And Saturday is Saturn. All right, we have the next thing is scribing your candle. Before we're going to jess it and anoint it and everything, before we're going to make a mess, let's scribe it. Now you can do symbols and glyphs, words, birth dates, sigils, planets, symbols, anything you wish to describe. So what we're going to use today is I'm going to use this is an African porcupine quill. If you guys want one of these, you can find them on my Etsy store. I'm going to sell them in like a package of 2 or 3, but we're going to use these ones today. And I've started off with, this is my green money candle. So I have the money symbol, it's a Canadian symbol for, Canadian American symbol for money. It's a little S with 2 lines through it. And then I have Fehu on each side for bringing in the abundance coming in here. Let's do a planet, Jupiter. Jupiter is for abundance, luck coming at me here. So let's put in Jupiter. And I'm actually hoping for a new job. I'm not going to say what it is yet. I don't want to get my hopes up yet. If I don't get it, I'll be super sad. So I'm going to put about this job on this as well. Okay, so what should I title it? Okay. Okay. All right. So I got my scribe, you can see that on here. You could use a knife, nail, anything sharp, you can put it in. Now one of my favorite things to do is after you can clean off the wax, get some sparkles. Rub some sparkles in it. When I'm outside, I usually will take from the soot from the fireplace and rub the soot in it, and it makes it really black, and it's really cool when it's melting. You could actually see the lines come in and gnarl down. It's fun. So now ways of anointing a candle. Let me use a smaller candle. Ways of anointing a candle. You can either just hold in the center and come out, but you actually are turning And this is an old school way that I was learned. Now, you do not have to do any of these in today's witchcraft. This is something different. Now, if I wanted to banish, I wanted to come away from me, I want this negative energy coming off, I have this psychic vampire leech on me, I'm going to pull it away from me and release. Sometimes I'll just like, I'll huck it out there. And the times if you want to bring something towards you, I need this new job, I need this partnership, let's pull the energy towards yourself. Pull the energy towards yourself. Again, there's different ways that you can anoint an oil. We went over the different types of anointing oils. Now, another thing you can do is after you put a healthy amount of oil and you put a little extra oil on, you can also roll it or sprinkle herbs on it. Each herb will mean something different too. Careful not to have too many herbs coming in with your oil, because different oils are going to do different things for you too. So too many ingredients, so you don't want to start battling each other and canceling it out. But anything like the herbs, the oils, essential oils you can add into your anointing oil before you start is going to be amazing too. Different types of oils you could use. Carrier oils will not override or change the intention or energetic signature of a magical oil or your intention with your candle magic. You can definitely select a carrier oil that will match or enhance your intention, give it an extra boost. The different types of carrier oils are, as almond oil is my absolute favorite, ruled by Mercury in the element air. It's an ideal blend for prosperity, money, and wisdom. Apricot oil, ruled by Venus, the element water, is great for love and emotions. Avocado oil, ruled by Venus and water, great for love, lust, or beauty. Castor oil is ruled by Mars, the element fire, and it's a great that deal with protection and absorbing negativity. Coconut oil is ruled by the moon and the element water, good for purification and protection. Grapeseed oil, ruled by the moon, element water, is a wonderful blend that deals with fertility, money, strengthening of mental abilities. Hemp seed oil, ruled by the moon and Saturn and the element water, is great carrier oil for healing love and psychic ability and meditation. Jojoba oil, ruled by the moon and the element water, is an ideal blend for healing and love. Olive oil, ruled by the sun and element fire, is an all-around ideal blend for healing, peace, fertility, protection. In many traditions, olive oil is as a total all-purpose oil. It's one of the original ancient anointing oils, and it was used for blessing and magic long before cooking with it. Sunflower oil, ruled by the sun and the element fire, it's a great carrier oil for blends that deal with protection, fertility, health, and wisdom, and amazing for sun magic. Charging and dressing your candle. It's as simple as a little bit of smoke cleanse with incense, smudge, however you like, from cinnamon to rosemary, you name it, you could use it. You can also use a sound cleanse, which is very cool as well as Reiki. Now for anointing here with your candle, you can choose any type of carrier oil. I'm choosing the Harvest Moon. I collected this oil back last year, probably September. Now, charging a candle means you're instilling it with a magical intent. The candle that has been charged fills your personal space with intention and expands it all to 4 elements. Dressing or anointing with special oils is chosen for the particular energy. The same thing goes for essential oils. I'm using grapefruit essential oil here, one of my favorites, charging it with Reiki, and I'm putting on a healthy amount because I'm going to be adding herbs to it. So usually I would use a drop is all you need. An oil is very concentrated, it goes a long way. But using herbs with my candle, I do want to use a generous amount of oils on it so the herbs will stick. sprinkling the herbs, and then you can roll the candle on the plate as well to get it as thick as you want, and it won't catch on fire. You can also include the herbs around in a bowl. If you're using a glass 7-day candle and you can't anoint it, you can just use the herbs and your crystals and your stones around the candle as I seen here. Now, lighting and extinguishing of candles. To blow them out or not to blow them out? That is the question. But extinguishing them, do you blow them out? Do you snuff them out? Can you pinch them out? One rule is always try to snuff them out. Do not pinch them out with your fingers. It burns yourself. You're setting a different intention. And don't blow it out. Some people say if you blow out the candle, you reverse the spell and you're blowing out your intention. But then you think about the very first maybe birthday candle you ever did. You think about it, you light the intention, you think about the intention, you blow it out, it sends it off into the universe. But those types of ones, you don't tell anybody. I like the type of wishes where you tell everybody, because the more people that you know, like a vision board, the more people that know they're going to think about, going to create it, maybe help create it. Like, I know someone that could help you out. How would you say it if you didn't know your wish? So keeping your wish to yourself sometimes, I think, or blowing it out with candles, I'm getting off topic, is sometimes irrelevant. I think it depends on the spell, would be more so for me. It depends on what you're doing, because I was doing a spell the other night and I would not have blown out the candle. I looked for my snuff and blew it out. Other times I'll just clap it out, let the wind blow it out, kind of thing. Or you can let them burn out. Now, that's a whole nother thing too. Let them burn out on their own is a question of your own. Fire safety, I cannot tell you in good-heartedly to keep your candle burning, because what if it caught fire, you lose your home, it's my fault, I feel bad. And also, I don't want to be held accountable. Oh my God, that would make me so feel bad. I've had incidents where I have used the 7-day glass candles and they have burst. I thought they'd be okay and contained, and I didn't have it in a bowl of water, I didn't have it in some sand, kitty litter, what have you. I now know if I do want to have the candle burning for the whole 7 days, that I will put it in a tub and draw the drapes as well. Maybe throw some water in there too. I did have a small fire that I wasn't aware of till I got home. I could have lost everything, and that would have been really bad. So there was a fire at one point in my house and it went out. So I don't know if it's just the wax I burnt for a while, burnt the side of my case, don't know. But I suggest not to let candles burn out unless they're in a bowl of sand. Even rice would work in your tub. I'm just being super extra paranoid because of my experiences. When I use a 7-day candle, I will mark on the candle, or else I'll get those little bumpy candles. And those little 7-day bumpy candles, each one represents the day. So I really like using those ones. So those ones are really neat as well to use. And then or else you can just mark on the glass jar itself, mark your 7 lines, and then you just burn down for each of those days. Okay. And another one is part of your rituals is which order to blow them out. That would also depend on the order that you lit in your candles. So you want to light in a certain order. If you're using a number, like I did a spell in, I believe it was December, and it had the candles coming a track to, oh, it was January. The candles were moving and it was a 3 or 4 day spell. So you had to move this arrow of orange attraction candles towards the petitioner candle. Whatever order that you place your candles out. So mine was moving on a 3 or 4 days. So each time I had to light them in order and then blow them out in reversed order. Next day, light them in order once again and blow them out in reverse order again. So that way I wasn't canceling anything out. It was a big spell. And so far it's worked out really well. So I'm excited. And ritual, that's our next one. So when is the best time to light your candle or candles for your ritual? Morning, afternoon, night? Well, that could depend on time of day. You can remember the day of the week. It also could even be a moon schedule. You could rock on that. You can do not only solar progressions, you can do moon phases. You can have fun with times of the days even too. You can even work within seasons of astrology seasons. It's just possibilities are endless. Most of your spells and rituals will have a set, possibly a day of the week or a time of the day, but I'm going to give you the number one rule. If you cannot decide on a time, if you're unsure, if the spell does not call for it, or if you're not sure of moon phases or sun phases, I'm going to give you a secret. I'm going to give you the best time to do it. Are you ready? Pick a time that you're most unlikely going to be interrupted. When you're not going to be interrupted, that's the best time. Okay. The next one we have here is disposing of candle material. This is a big one. This is kind of a controversial one too, but for me, it really all depends on the spell, because some spells it has to be buried off off the property line. Do not let it touch any of your property line, any of your essence, nothing your vibe. Some spells it's fine to bury underneath a tree on your property line. Let the tree absorb it, take it away. Some are banishing negative stuff. You don't want it in your vibe, in your place. Some you can keep. You should not have anything left after you burn your candle, most people would say, but with me, I like adding around in a bowl, anything from salt to herbs to crystals, you name it. Sometimes they're chunkier, like chunks of cinnamon. They don't burn away. The cinnamon can sometimes catch a little fire, but they don't burn away, so I keep them, so those ones, not all of them. Not the ones that I made negativity or banishing ones. Let me have a look here. So what I do, I keep, this one's a gratitude candle. This is from July 2022. This was for love, friends, and family. So I keep track, so you can see what's left. We got crystals and essence and stuff like this here too. This was a love spell for a friend. I have the sigil in there along with the remnants of the wax and all the little bits in here too. What else do we have? Ooh, this is some sun magic. You can tell by the color here. Ooh, what was this one for? Made in September. Yeah, this was some solar magic. So you could use these as well. And use some remnants for certain spells. You can't keep these little guys for all your spells. I'll keep a little page in there. I'll have the sigil, the intention, the date, and the name of the spell when I put it in, so I could use that, because all those crystals and herbs and that wax is all charged up now. So why not use that in some other spells too? Again, I would use them in all your spells. To each his own. Now, if you don't have anywhere to bury your spell, you are a city witch, for example, or no backyard, you maybe not even have a balcony. You don't want to get a little flower box and have all these remnants of little spells there stuck in there. So you can throw them away. Throw them away in someone else's garbage. Throw them away in public garbage. The more, the intense, the negative, the banishing, the spell that you have, throw it in a public bin and bind it up. Make sure no one picks it up and starts taking it all apart. And what is this? And that is many different ways that you can get rid of your candle remnants. Now there's other different things that you can do with your candles. One is wax reading, and another one is flame reading. Flame reading would be like the movement and the sounds it makes. The wax could be how it drips, how it comes out the sides, what happens, how it flows around the candle, what has happened, the build up. You can see pictures in there, you can see glyphs in there. It will tell you things. The direction it flows is going to be a meaning, depending if it flows this direction or that direction. I'm not as savvy, so I'm going to be doing a lot of homework, and I'm going to be coming at you with another video for some flame and some wax reading. And I'll be coming back with something really cool for that. So next we have is writing your own spell. You could use these sheets I have here for you. I've designed some spell and ritual candle magic sheets. You can find them on my Etsy store, or if you sign up to my Patreon, you automatically get these as a PDF downloadable. Going to use one of the larger sheets I printed out here today. You could use a smaller printout or an A4 size, just rocking in the date. It's always nice to keep track of when you design your spells, because you will evolve. You and your spells will evolve and change over time. So it's nice to go back and reflect on your journey. Using the moon cycle here to infuse this candle, my intention is love and abundance to all who sees this video. Using a white candle, anointing oil, the sunflower oil, essential oil of grapefruit and lemon. I use my 4 Sacred Directions blend, no flowers and no crystals. I use some clear quartz later on, the Fehu and the heart for my symbols. And I write down my ritual and how I wish to proceed. Super easy. Okay, so now for my favorite part. We have some questions. I have a whole bunch out here. Some of you have posted on there. Some of you have emailed me. Some of them I found online, and I'm just going to cover a whole bunch of cool ones here. So the first one here is what to do with the glass jars when we're done. What to do with our empties, my friend. Oh, I've got ideas. Now, luckily, I found that it was, from this here up, it's super clean. It's not clean here yet because I need a bottle scrubber. And once you get one to be super clean, I actually just used my fingers and it cleaned off pretty well, just with some hot water and some soap. So I found them very easy to clean. So once you've cleaned them out and have them ready, give them a little bit of a smudge, especially if you've used them for any intentions. Myself, I will write on them, I don't know if you can see it here, write on them with a Sharpie marker. Now that just comes off with rubbing alcohol, so you can start afresh again. Smudge the heck out of it, cleanse it, get it rocking out there for you. Now, what kind of things that we can do with this? I have a list for you, my love. So this one comes at us from Mila at 1280. She's one of our subscribers. And she's asked what to do with this. So you can turn this back into a candle. Obviously, we can pour wax into it. You can store candle supplies, paint brushes in there. I would put rocks in the bottom or those glass rocks, and you can start plants and cuttings in there. You can start some water plants in there too. Succulents even like the water too. You can make a body scrub, 1 part sugar, 2 to 3 parts coconut oil, and then some herbs, some essential oils. You can make some scrubs and cap it off. You can add a tea light inside of this. Tea light in the bottom. It can be a tea or coffee holder. You can put beans or you can put tea bags in there. Pens and pencils for your desk. Spare change in there. Glass rocks, and start a clipping. We have candy jars for different times of the year. My favorite one that I use, mine is a planter. You can use one as a hot chocolate gift. You can put hot chocolate inside, little chocolate bags. You can dip some wooden spoons in some chocolate and put the spoons inside there and give it as a gift. It can work as a bathroom holder even for toothbrushes, elastics, from your hairbrushes to bobby pins. Air freshener. Air freshener, you can fill 3/4 full of baking soda, add 5 to 10 drops of essential oil. This will last about a week, then you stir, and then you can add some more essential oil. Pet treats in there. You can just put elastic over top of a foil, over top of the lid to hold it from getting stale. Vacation memories, vacation bottles. You can fill a little bit of a sand, put some shells, put some things that you found on your trips, anything you'd like. Craft storage, crystal storage. Die cut fairy silhouette on it, and then put some moss inside of it, and then one of those little fake tea light candles, and then you can put a little lid on it and it'll look like a little fairies inside of it. Fairy lights just inside of it. You can put and make it into a flower vase. So much fun you could do with those ones. I hope that one answered your question. Another question was, can you sub a gold one for a green? Well, that depends on the spell. So if it's for money, 100%, because gold also gold is gold. Gold is like, it's a mineral, so it's good for money as well. If you're using for a nature spell, I would still say yes, because gold is good for the sunlight and solar magic. So if you need to boost your plants, boost your health, boost your mental health, the gold would be for the green, for the intellect coming in, the logic side, and the green would be for growth and for health coming in. So again, and if you don't have, use white. It will work for everything. Another one is, what if the candle goes out? Should I relight it? Yes, you can relight it. If it goes out, it happens. Sometimes that could be indications of a bumpy road, a stop and start. So your manifestations may take a little bit longer to start. Now, another question asked, why I covered throughout the video, is do you keep the candle burning for 7 days, or you should blow it out and relight it for each day? There's this question here. We covered about blowing it out. Let's snuff it out. And I would snuff it out once a day and relight it once a day. That's just my practice. I'm a little nervous leaving a candle burning for 7 days. I don't like even leaving a candle burning in a room that I'm not in the room. I have cats, and I've seen videos where cats' tails have caught on fire, and they've just jumped around and caught the curtains in the house on fire, and then it's just done inside. It's just up in seconds. So it scares me. So again, depends if you have pets, depends on where you are. I have a little stump outside in my yard, and I use a wood stump with our candles on there, and it's outside, and I feel safer out there too. So again, depends on what you like. I personally like blowing it out, not blowing it out, snuffing it out once a day, and just working on the layers that day. Then I can be a little bit more in control of the safety. Okay, let's, can you do a candle spell for someone else? Yes, for sure. Many practitioners even offer different candle services, altar services. They have set lights for other folks. You could choose a light for someone else. You can choose a light for family, friends, members of your community, any type of health. You can also set a light for someone else for influencing maybe an outcome. So there's, again, so many different reasons or why you may light a candle for someone else. But yes, definitely. Always try to keep the intention with good intentions. Can I do a candle spell for more than one purpose? Well, that depends on the spell itself, because if you're doing a protection spell and then you want a job, they're two separate things. So it's not going to jive. Your intention's not going to be the same. The color correspondence aren't the same. Your sigils, your markings, your scribes, your anointing oils, it's going to be different. So there I would say no. However, abundance, maybe a pink and a green for health, for your heart. You might use a dual candle, let's say a white and a black for a cord cutting or banishing, for example. Protection candles could expect to cover just more than it's kind of a tough one. So I guess it really would depend on the spell itself. So you'd have to really just use your best judgment for there. Some candles come with dual colors, and it'll give you ideas for those dual colors, and you can read the inscriptions on the candles and find out if that's best for you too. Now, can you do one more than one candle spell at a time? Yes. But again, if the intentions are separate, do them separately. Have them in two different areas. You don't even need to have them on the same altar, but yeah, definitely you can light one candle after another. I tend to have some of my spells. I have some quicker ones where I may have my 3 to 4 hour candles. That's just done in the one day. I might do something later on that day or the next day. But usually if I have an intensive 3 to 7 day spell, my altars is naked. I start from scratch. I light nothing else around it. I keep my attention, my focus on one thing at a time. Again, personal preference. However it's best for you. If you have the space to do it, you want to have a few different areas for your candles, that's totally awesome as well. What if a candle I lit keeps going out? Well, witches, it's called spell work. That's right. For one reason, if it's meant to work your spells, it's meaning that not always will light and not always will be a perfect situation. Some spells require a lot of working, a lot of relit, a lot of maintaining, a lot of fussing. Sometimes we have to tend to our spells, grow our spells, sprout our spells. Depends on if we're starting off in little seedlings and eggshells or working with candle magic itself and the herb later on after we've grown it and dried it. When a candle goes out repeatedly, it's sometimes due to another person possibly working against you, or it could be a malevolent force that is against you. Sometimes it's due to your own resistance against your own wish as well, or the amount of obstacles to overcome. And sometimes it's just because you've left the ceiling fan on too high and it keeps blowing out, or you're working candle outside. It's a science thing. No matter what it is, relight the damn candle. Just keep going. Just relight it and just like, this is what's happening. Do as you're told. I'm manifesting this. We're working on this together. Let's do this. Let's see if you can read your candle results. Read the flame. Is it crackling? Is it moving? Is it swaying? Is it burning high? Is it keep going out? Is it probably just a really crappy candle? Is it a cheap candle? These are all little different things you need to form into it too. But the basic of it all is just keep relighting and keep going with the thing. Won't messing with the candle affect the results? Yes. If you're messing with the candle and playing with the wax and trying to make it burn down faster, a friend of mine was doing that. She was trying to poke at the candle and move the cord, and we were doing a cord cutting, and she was messing with it. So when the flame would hit the cord, it was not at the point the intention was set. So she was forcing the flame down. So did she force the flame at that cut, or was it a natural cut? The rest of us read it, we kept bugging her and say, stop poking at it, stop touching it. That was just all our opinion. But she was like stubborn and she was bored and wanted to hurry up and getting impatient. I'm like that too. We're all impatient witches at one point in time or another. Will this affect your energy and your influence on it? No. But it will affect the outcome of the candle, especially if you're doing a cord cutting. When working with your candle, you can ensure will achieve the outcome you intended, so don't be too afraid to work with your spells. Getting over the fear is part of you embracing how you're doing your magic powers. So getting over messing with it, whether it be having a window open, doing it outside, playing with the wax, poking at the flame to try to get it to melt one way or the other, just let it be, just like a sigil, just let it be, let it do its thing. It'd be cool to read the wax however it lays. If you're impatient, work your magic outside. The wind will help keep the flame going and it'll help burn it down faster. Ooh, this is a good question. Why does my candle make sizzling and popping noises? These sounds are an indication of spirit speaking through your candle. Stop, listen, and tune in to what they're saying. If you're unsure, do or get a reading. Grab a tarot reading, grab your pendulum and start asking some questions. There's some spirit activity there, my love. What if your flame is really low? Keep an eye on that candle in case the flame goes out. A low flame can indicate a slow beginning to the materialization of the beginning of your spell results. It also could be a simple indication you have a cheap candle. If not, if it's not working, you grab another candle, relight another one, it's not the candle, it keeps going low, then relight it and really nurture that candle during its burn time. You may need to sit with it and talk to it and be there and tend to it. And this will help tend and nurture your intuition of setting out to your intention into the universe as well. What if the candle glass is completely black and the spell is incomplete? Ooh. Unless this is a hexing or curse breaking spell, you should read the black soot. Read it just like you'd be reading maybe some candle wax. As a successful marker in your working, this is an indication that you might need to do a reading to determine your next steps, or you might want to try the spell over again. You could also read the soot as if you were reading like smoke over a background. See what you could see, if there's any pictures or imprints on it as you're going about. I think that's all we have for those questions there. Well, we've covered quite a bit in today's, from spell making to dispel designing to getting rid of, disposing to lighting, extinguishing, you name it, we covered it. Again, I want to appreciate the time you spent with me, and thanks for chilling out with me today. It was cool to just actually be with you one-on-one today. It's a little different platform that I've done on Pagan Crafting before, and I've thoroughly enjoyed my time. If you like this video, you'd like to see more like it, throw me down a little like, and you want to ring that bell and subscribe to my channel so you can see some more videos that come out for you. And have yourself an absolutely magical day.